Today, I'm going to show you exactly what to do when the stock market is falling apart around you. Step by step, no fluff. I'm going to tell you about my time that I sat across the desk as a licensed stockbroker during one of the fastest market collapses in history, told my clients, stay calm, stay invested, don't panic, and then went home that night and moved part of my own money to cash. Spectacular. We'll get to that, but first, here's a fact that should make you mad. In March 2025, the S&P 500 dropped more than 10% in less than 2 weeks. During that same period, individual investors pulled out nearly $100 billion of equity funds. They panicked. They sold. Then the market came back. Every single time, the people who sold locked in real losses. The people who stayed, or better yet, kept buying, are sitting on gains right now. This video is about making sure you are never in that first group. Welcome to the Leverage Report. My name is Rich. I'm a former Wall Street broker and multi-business owner. I started this channel to share what I've learned on the inside of financial systems. Subscribe to learn my unique angles on using leverage to improve your financial situation. Because leverage doesn't create profits, it multiplies them. Welcome to the show. Let me tell you what actually happened with my money. So it was in March of 2020 and COVID just hit. The market was dropping, 8, 10, 12% in a single day. And I'm on the phone with other clients telling them, stay calm, don't sell, don't lock a loss in until you sell. I believed every word of it, and I still do. And then I went home, opened my brokerage account, I looked at the number, and I sold some stuff. and I sold it to cash. I couldn't even take my own advice. Not because I had a strategy, not because I ran the numbers, but because the number on the screen was scary, and I was human. The market bottomed out on March 23rd, 2020. By August, it had fully recovered. By the end of the year, it was up over 16%. The money I moved out to cash, well, I missed most of that, but I bought back a bunch of other late at higher prices. But after locking in real losses on the way out, I am speaking totally from experience. Hard, expensive experience, and embarrassing experience to admit that on camera. I know the rules, and I broke them. Anyway, that is exactly what happened, and that's why I make these videos, so that I can help you, and so that you don't break the rules that I break. That's only for me. You can't break them. So I spent years inside these systems, and it can happen to anybody. It can happen to you. And unlike me, now you get a warning before the next one hits. I'm not managing your money. I'm not selling you anything. Nobody has ever sat down with regular investors during a crisis and explained in plain English what's actually happening. Consider this, that conversation. All right, here's what most people think the right move looks like when the market drops. They watch the numbers fall. They get scared. They tell themselves, I'll wait until things calm down and get back in when it's stable. That sounds reasonable. It is not reasonable. That's not a strategy. That's panic with a plan attached to it. Wait for things to stabilize is the most expensive sentence in beginner investing. You know what happens when things stabilize. So the market has already recovered. You missed the bottom, okay? You missed the bounce, and you're buying back at the same price you sold it at or higher after locking in a real loss on the way out. That's not investing, that's timing the market. And timing the market doesn't work. Not for you, Not for me, not for the big hedge funds with 400 analysts and 50 billion in resources. The data on this is overwhelming. So what does work? 3 rules. I've watched each of these play out in real portfolios, mine and my clients. So let's go through them. Rule number 1, don't stop your contributions. Speed them up when the market drops. When it drops 10%, speed it up 10%. That's a sale, a real one. Every dollar you invest right now buys more shares than you bought 2 weeks ago. That's not spin, that is math. During the March 2025 sell-off, if you had $500 a month going into the broader index fund on automatic and you kept going, you bought shares at a 10+% discount. When the market recovered, those shares were worth more than everything else that you've already bought because they were discounted. They were in the dip. That is the entire game. In one sentence, now, it's no, 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 and no. I'm telling you not to throw in your emergency fund into the market because it's on sale. I'm telling you not to take on debt to buy the dip. And I'm saying if you have a regular contribution already set up, don't stop it because you are scared. Don't stop it because you're scared. There's a very important difference between those two things. The investors who came out ahead in every major crisis, 08, COVID, 25, did not do something clever. They did something really boring. They just kept going. So keep going. Rule number 2, know what you own and why you own it. Here's the part that comes directly from my broker background. Most beginner investors don't actually know what they own. They bought something because someone on Reddit said it was going to the moon, or because a co-worker mentioned it at lunch, or because they listened to their incredible broker. And when the market drops, they have zero framework for whether to hold, buy more, or sell. So they do the worst possible thing. They guess under pressure with real money. Let me explain the difference in plain English. If you own a broad index fund, something that tracks the S&P 500, you own a small piece of the 500 largest companies in America. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, all of them. When that fund drops, you are not losing money on one bad bet. You are sitting on a temporary market-wide discount on the American economy. That is categorically different from owning one individual stock that might actually be going to zero. Knowing what you own is not optional. It is the single thing that separates investors who stay calm during a crisis from investors who panic and sell at the worst possible moment. You know what you own. You know why you own it. One sentence. If you can't do that right now, you need to find out what you do, what you own before the next dip. Find out, what do you own? Is it worth something? Knowing that there's a company in stock with earnings behind it definitely helps you ride things out. Rule number 3, turn off the noise for a specific amount of time. I want to be precise here because the advice gets misused. I'm not telling you to ignore your portfolio forever. I'm saying pick a window, 30 days, and stop checking daily. Here's why exactly. The human brain is wired to feel losses roughly twice as intensely as equivalent gains. It's also called loss aversion. It is not a character flaw. It is neuroscience. When you open your portfolio app and you see red every single morning, your brain starts screaming at you to do something. That something is almost always wrong. During the 2025 tariff sell-off, the market dropped, bounced, dropped again, bounced again, multiple times inside of 2 weeks. Investors who check daily made panic decisions on the way down and impulsive decisions on the way back up. And investors who had automated contributions set up and checked once at the end of the month, they came out ahead. Not because they were smarter, because they got out of their own way. That's not a Wall Street trick. That's just math. I think of a downturn or a big PR nightmare for different events, like for a company, let's say BP Oil, and they had that big oil leak. Man, that stock went down. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna buy it, okay? I bought it when it was down. So when a company that has earnings, has assets, is a real company, not some Bitcoin or some fictitious thing, right? When they have something that is tanking them from a public relations output, it's an opportunity to buy. Even when the market goes down, tariffs, whatever is the most latest thing, it's an opportunity to buy. The economy, yeah, it seems scary. If you're far enough away from the horizon where you need the money, if you don't need the money for 10 years, if you don't even need it for 5 years, okay, and you've got liquid money, buy when the market goes down. That's what it's all about. It's the opposite of what you think. Everything you've ever thought, it's all opposite. Let me show you what the difference actually looks like in real dollars. So $500 a month in a broad index fund, 8% average annual return. The historical average, nothing I'm making up, 10 years would be 91,000, 20 years would be 294,000, and 30 years would be 745,000. Now here's what happens when you panic and stop contributing for just 12 months. Say you pulled it out in the March 2025 and didn't get back in until March 2026. You lost 6,000 in contributions. Simple enough. But you also lost the compounding on those 6,000 for the next 29 years. That 1 year pause cost you approximately $47,000 at the 30-year mark, not 6,000. 47,000 because of compounding. The market will go down. It always has. And it also comes back up every single time. The only people who actually locked in losses were the ones who sold. The reason most people don't do this isn't because it's complicated. It's because no one ever sat down and laid out the actual math without trying to sell them something else. I've been there. Now you've seen the math. All right, here are your 3 steps. Write these down. Number 1, don't stop your contributions when the market drops. If you can increase them, do it when the market drops. You are buying on sale. Number 2, know exactly what you own and why. 1 sentence. If you can't answer that right now, find out before the next dip. Number 3, set contributions to automatic and give yourself a 30-day no check window during any major downturn. Get out of your own way. No apps to download, no courses to buy, no advisor to hire. Just 3 rules that every investor who actually stayed wealthy followed. During every crisis, include this one. Well, that's it for today. I appreciate you watching the video. If this helped you and you think differently about what's happening right now, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll put out new videos just like this every week, trying to give you just basic, nice advice, sometimes very specific as well. If you have any questions, put them in a comment. If not, like and subscribe. Thank you.